This past Saturday, I represented our club at the Area L42 Evaluation Contest. For those of you who don't know, the winners from 4 evaluation club contests duked it out for a chance to advance to the 3rd level of competition. I walked on out onto that stage trying to hide the fact from the audience that my hands were definitely shaking. Gary, thank you so much for giving your speech today. I want to begin at the start of your speech. I loved that first sentence. They called him Easy Eddie. They called him Easy Eddie. It draws the attention of your audience because that sentence is in the form of a question. That wasn't a question. Mr. Toastmaster, and to all my friends within Speechmeisters and beyond, I was sick that morning. I had a bad headache, my throat was sore, and I had to drink 3 bottles of water to keep my voice alive for the 3-minute evaluation. Thanks to that little mess, I was writing on only a couple hours of sleep. And now, I just flubbed badly in front of 70 people. I could use that as the perfect concoction of excuses for a bad presentation. And I could go my merry way back to living my life the safe way. For years, my life was excuse after excuse after excuse. I failed a high school test. It was because the teacher for that class was a bad educator and a jerk. I wanted to play a sport at school. I don't have the body of an athlete, and I never will. What's the point? Oh, what about that really cute girl? I want to ask her out. She's going to reject me anyway. Why bother? Some years ago, I finally figured out that I cannot live my life according to excuses. But it was last month that I found out the potential, the end result that you or me or anyone else can have when you grab life by the horns. 2 years ago, I watched a video blog that would change my life forever. A man by the name of Shea Butler, who incidentally is my height, was on the verge of weighing 300 pounds. For his family, for his friends, and for himself, he decided to do something about it. Over the course of many months, he cut off 100 pounds on his way to completing the 2012 LA Marathon. That video encapsulated all the raw emotion running a marathon gets out of you. The cheering, the crying, the embrace, the sheer elation. I wanted that. I set up a 44-week training program. I woke up at 4:45, forced myself out of bed, and ran in the dark of night. For months, I did this, until I completed my very first 10-miler 5 months later. On mile 6 of that Saturday morning, my foot began to tickle. That tickle turned into pain with every step I took. I ran with pain for 4 more miles, and once I finally finished and my heart rate slowed down, I couldn't walk. The stabbing sensation in my foot was extravagant. I broke my foot. My marathon plans were derailed. I want to run a marathon. I tried, but I don't have the feet to support me 26.2 miles. Good effort, but it's time I move on to something else. No more excuses. 15 months later, on a foggy February morning in downtown Austin, I stood in front of a towering sign. I took out my phone and took a photo. sign read, 2014 Austin Marathon. I posted it to Facebook with the status, today's the day. Today almost wasn't the day. At mile 19, my legs began to give up. My thighs felt like lead and my calves were freaking out. Anytime I allowed my calves to compress, I Charlie horsed. I was in so much pain, I wanted to give up. My calves looked like half deflated basketballs. If there was any time for me to give up and have an excuse, it was now. A marathoner by the name of Lori Colmaine once said, "Everything you ever wanted to know about yourself, you can learn in 26.2 miles." At mile 19, I flashed back. Over the course of 2 years, I had endured hundreds of shin splints. I broke my foot. I was forced to run on a knee brace. I ran on rainy days. I ran on 90-degree days. It sucked, but none of that stopped me from getting to mile 19. In a bout of newly discovered mental toughness, I said to myself, what's 7.2 miles more? No excuses. It would become 110 minutes of pure hell. But pure hell comes with the reward. No excuses. That's what I told myself before the evaluation contest. Headache, sore throat, a bad start to the evaluation. No excuses. That attitude is why I'm proud to tell you today that I will be representing Anti-Speechmeisters in Area L42 in the division evaluation contest next month. To everyone in this room, I am humbled and privileged to have gone through the entire Communicator. Your feedback and your support have transformed me from an inexperienced, mediocre speaker to an exceptionally confident one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you take my words to heart today. I don't want any of you to live an excuse-laden life. I want to see you become the outstanding speakers you want to be. I want to see you all grow into the leaders I know you're capable of being. I want to see you drive your life to make it the best it can possibly be. What's so great about living a life without excuses? Because the end result is there isn't one. Your potential is never ending. Mr. Toastmaster.
So what a wonderful speech Richard gave. If you were not here in the first meeting to see Richard speak for the first time, let me give you a recap of that. I got a water! I can sell it to you. It'll make you strong and powerful. And that's about all he did. Now we came from that to this. That is having no excuses. After giving that favorite topic, you could have might as well quit right there. It was horrible. You did not quit, and you became a wonderful speaker. You have a great potential to be somebody's favorite speaker in a club somewhere in California or somewhere in Japan. I encourage you to keep it up, keep going. So a little bit more specific. I think the silence at first was wonderful. You came up here and you did this. And then you started, which was wonderful. You kind of gave us this anticipation of what's he going to say. I wanted to keep listening from that moment on. Your body language, man, God, it has gotten so much better. When you walked up, or when you were shaking, or when you were yawning, I'm so tired and sick. From the 300 pounds minus the 200 pounds, those are all things that make you connect the speech better, that make us visualize what you're talking about better. Then the topic. I mean, everybody has excuses and everybody can be tempted to give up. But it's those that keep on fighting to make a difference in the world. Those day after day, like Barney's quote on his email, persistence is omnipotent. You just gotta keep going. You can be smart, you can be a genius, but that's not enough. It does nothing if you're not persistent. So no more excuses. Another really good thing I liked about your speech was your imagery. The half-deflated basketball. Immediately I thought of a half-deflated basketball and I picture it on your legs. So another great way to make us see and encourage us to connect to your speech better. You brought the medal, which makes it tangible. Like he's not just bullshitting us with this 6.2 miles. He really did run it. He ran the 42.2 kilometers for those of the like the metric system.
All right.
And I really, really like how you did the, you started talking about the evaluation, and it kind of had a big parenthesis, which was America, but then you got back to the evaluation, like you connected the beginning to the end, which was really wonderful. There's one thing that I think you could have done a little bit better, which was the conclusion. You ended up with potential is never ending, which was soft. I think if you would have done the opposite, it would have had a bigger impact. Your potential is never ending.